Hello to all my day drinkers out there. I'm Martini Pictures, and today we'll be coming back to Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders. Now, a little tidbit of information. It seems that my save file did happen to delete from the last time that we played this, and I just spent a little over half an hour getting back to where we were. So, hopefully you guys are looking forward to this next section.
Do you have any idea about the killer's identity?
The crime was committed by a man of medium height, with red hair and suspicious eyes. He has a slight limp on the right foot, and a wart just below his shoulder blade.
Poirot!
Mon ami, what do you want? You fix upon
If you haven't been here from the first episode, why haven't you checked it out? But if you're just checking out this one, I'll leave a link in the description, I guess. But if you don't remember what happened in the first one, we just went over to Andover and
be so impatient, Hastings.
found
the killer will manifest himself soon enough.
Murder victim.
I thought I heard the postman. Maybe there's some news.
I would go and see.
Alright, and now we're finally back to playing into the hands of the murderer, because we have yet to figure out who he is or what his motive was. So let's start it off by reading this letter.
Dear Mr. Poirot, well, what do you think? I believe that I won this round. The Andover affair went like clockwork, don't you feel? But the fun has only just started. I would like to draw your attention to Bexhill on Sea on the 25th of this month. We're having a crazy time. Best wishes, ABC. The next crime will be in Bexhill. We must warn Jap to Scotland Yard.
Did the letter indicate anything that might help the police?
To be honest, I think we can already guess something about the next victim. But I need to think about it a little more. Ah, some cool hair.
Okay, so there was a whole bunch of stuff able to be looked at while we were here.
Daily Flicker, June the 22nd, 1935. Battle over control of bank system. What will the government do for money? Andover, murder of a tobacconist.
I've really wondered what someone who sold tobacco was called, but I guess we now know that they're called a tobacconist. Before we go anywhere, we'll...
No doubt about it. Hastings is going bored.
Before we get on to the actual mission itself, let's explore everything that's over here.
Andover, Hampshire, population 31,200 inhabitants.
Oh, he's just looking at himself again. Ugh. Well, I guess that's everything that we can look at for now. So we'll just go back to over here.
It's impossible to get through to Scotland Yard.
Okay. Alright, thinking section. What do we have to think about?
Let us examine this more closely.
Alright. Okay, so the Bexhill one was the second one. And the Andover one was over here.
Certain characters in the two letters may have similar defects. Yes, this I is weird.
We'll use that one as
Right.
a reference.
Let us compare this with the other letter. Yes, the I characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory. Yes, the A appears to be quite unusual. I don't see anything in particular.
I didn't mean
Let
to
us
click
look
that.
at another word. Yes, the
Alright.
A.
Now we can skip that. And
Right. Let us compare this with the other letter.
here's the
That's
other
right. The A characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. I have to find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Maybe these commas?
Let us examine the characters in this word.
That is not the word that I was talking
Let
about.
us examine the characters in this word.
Based off that, I'm not thinking that we're able to do that, so maybe
Let us examine
the
the characters.
apostrophe.
Right. Let us compare this with the other letter. No, I already established.
Okay, so we
I
can't
have
use it
to
this time.
find some other similar defects to confirm my theory.
Alright, so what letter looks off? The W's kind of look
The W
messed
is
up.
not printed properly. Right. Let us compare this with the other letter.
I'm thinking, yeah, because there's two of them over here.
Of course, the W characters in the two letters do indeed have the same defects. My theory was
Oh,
right.
there was a
These
lot
two
of them.
letters were written with the same typewriter. Both letters were written on the same typewriter and show the same characteristics.
You surprise me, Poirot. You usually ignore material proof.
But there is nothing usual about this case, Hastings. Nothing must be overlooked. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Alright. What's special about the Andover murder? The first victim was called Asher. Andover ABC guide. Andover and Alice Asher start with the letter A. I could have told you that. What can we guess about the next victim? Letter announcing the Bexhill's crime. It's going to happen in Bexhill. The next victim's name will start with the letter B.
So, Poirot, have you found something?
Oui, I believe so. But I am afraid it is not enough to stop the murderer. Let us go and see Chief Inspector Japp. I will explain there.
Okay, so the next objective was leave Whitehaven. Yeah, I think we can just leave right away. This series is long
To
enough.
Scotland Yard, please.
New objective, inform Japp. Let's just head right in.
Like all hunters, Hastings has always been fascinated by weapons.
I think I'm seeing 3 guns over here.
Japp has invested a great deal in his career.
I'd say that's a lot of medals. As well as a certificate.
Chap is an investigator greatly respected by his peers.
Before we look to him, we'll look over here for more stuff.
Alice Asher was murdered in Andover, the ABC killer's first murder. London. I really like this city. One thing is certain, you never get bored here.
Anything else? Nope. Alright, we'll just...
Chap's interview room. Many cases have been solved in this little office.
Okay, now we'll look at him.
Chap appears to be snowed under.
Piles of files. Cup of cold tea.
Chap appears to already be overloaded with work. My news is not going to improve matters. Bonjour, Chief Inspector. I am afraid we have some bad news. I have just received another letter signed ABC. The next crime will be on the 25th in Bexhill-on-Sea.
Are you completely sure it's from the same person?
I have compared the two letters. There is no doubt about it.
I suppose you think he's going to carry out his threats.
I fear so.
Good God, Poirot. Bexhill is very busy at this time of year, and we have no idea who the next victim will be.
The killer attacks old ladies who run a shop. No. The next victim will start with a B.
I suspect that the name of the second victim will start with B.
What on earth makes you think such a thing?
I thought about it when I saw the name Asher clearly written over the shop door of the unfortunate woman who was murdered in Andover last month. When I received a letter mentioning Bexhill, I deduced that the victim, like the town, might have been chosen by alphabetical order.
So, it's an alphabet fiend. I'm going to have a list drawn up of all the people whose name starts with B. I hope there aren't too many of them.
Bien. We should leave you to work, Chief Inspector.
You have a few days to prepare yourself.
Thank you for coming, my friends.
Poirot?
Chief Inspector Japp, your call does not bode well.
Indeed, we have just found the body of a young woman on the beach in Bexhill. An ABC was placed on the body.
We'll be there as soon as possible.
We tried to tell him. Oh well, just can't listen to a scanny. Oh, he tried his best.
Bexhill is a delightful town. It would be nice to come back and visit.
I do not entirely agree. Walking at the beach damages my shoes, and it hurts my knee.
So the years have not spared you, my friend. It's the same for all of us.
That is exactly what I said to myself when I saw you back from your travels.
Poirot.
Do not be offended, Hastings. I can see Japp waiting for us. And from his face, I would say that things are not looking good.
Anything to acknowledge beyond down here? Okay, so the body has been blocked off.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Chief Inspector?
I fear your admirer has struck again, Poirot. We haven't yet identified the victim, but it's a young woman, 20 to 25 years old. Death occurred last night between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, and we found an ABC guide on the body.
Was she pretty?
Come on, Poirot, that's rather out of place. It has no bearing on the murder.
Are you certain? For women, it is often the most important thing. It often decides their destiny.
The body hasn't been moved. You can see for yourself.
Has the press been informed?
Not yet, but I'm planning to. I haven't yet informed them about the presence of the ABC guide in Andover.
Nobody has reported a young woman missing?
Not for the moment.
No witnesses, I imagine.
Indeed. We've asked everybody who may have met a young woman fitting her description last night to come and see us, but I have little hope of gaining anything from it.
It's early days, Chief Inspector, and the news may not have spread around the town yet.
I hope you're right, Hastings.
Okay, so we'll just look over this poor young lady. This is the reason that you ladies do not want a choke collar.
These marks have been left by a rope or a braided cloth.
The rope would be right over her,
A
sir.
braided silk belt. It may have belonged to the victim.
Are they guide?
The guide is open at the page for the Bexhill train times.
Just as we thought. Here's some
This key
key.
is too small to be one for a house. Without a doubt, it is for a padlock. She was a great beauty. Strange that chap didn't notice it. The young woman wasn't wearing shoes or a coat, and was not carrying a bag. That's strange. Either the murderer stole her belongings, or she put them somewhere safe. Maybe so that she could bath.
One thing that we're also missing. Oh,
Apart from the marks on her neck, there are no signs of the struggle. She didn't manage to hit her assailant. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
alright. How was the victim killed? Has marks on the neck. She did not struggle. There was a braided silk belt. She was choked with her own belt.
The poor child must have been strangled with his braided belt. Unfortunately, in view of the fabric, it is unlikely that we will find any prints. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
What are the common points between the Andover murder and the one in Bexhill? The press does not know that the ABC guide was found in Andover. ABC guide open at Bexhill page. Andover ABC guide. Easy enough. The killer signs this crime with an ABC guide. Are the crimes in Andover and Bexhill the work of the same murderer? Letter announcing the Bexhill's crime, yeah. That's not it. If there were two murders, they wouldn't. Oh, okay, yeah, they wouldn't have.
The medical officer should
Known to
confirm
leave.
that the victim was strangled with her own belt.
That's what I thought. She shows the usual signs of strangulation.
With a little luck, we'll find prints this time.
You are too optimistic, Hastings. Our killer is far too meticulous for that. Hastings appears to be ill at ease. He appeared to be relatively indifferent to Mrs. Asher's murder, but a young woman's murder seems to be troubling him greatly.
Okay. So I guess we'll just explore along the beach.
This hut is locked. This hut is locked.
Oh. Hey, there's one over here that's upside down. Should be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we definitely know this is upside down.
The number is upside down. This is definitely at number 6.
But there's a 715 etched under it. Okay, so we'll just remember that. Okay, so there's a padlock here. Oh, it must be...
A dual locking padlock. I need to find the code and then insert a key.
Okay, so we know the key was back on her wrist, but we'll just put this in here for now. 7... Whoa, too far. 15. Alright, now we have access to whatever this room is about. Oh, there's a purse right there, so maybe that's hers. As well as her shoes.
It definitely was here that the victim left her belongings. The purse is full. Yet again, we can dismiss theft as the motive for the murder. Here is the watch she must have removed to prevent it from getting wet. A top-brand lipstick. She liked to take care of her appearance.
Okay, so this must all be in here.
There's a photo of the victim with some company. It could be useful to me.
New object, a photo of the victim. Okay. Okay. It had something over here, but I don't know what. Oh well.
Betty's first day at work. Mom is very proud of you. Elizabeth Barnard, 7 August 1931.
Alright.
So, the young lady did have a name starting with B, and she worked as a ginger cat, an establishment that must be slightly further along the beach.
Ginger cat. Interesting.
Jap has gone to the police. The victim has been identified and her family had reported her disappearance. She was called?
Elizabeth Barnard, mainly Betty. She worked as a ginger cat at the cafe slightly further along the beach.
But Poirot, how on earth?
Never mind. Do you have her address?
Yes, she lived with her parents on the street leading to the beach, number 22. Shall we go?
You are far too impatient, Hastings. Let the poor people take in the news first. Let us go and visit the cafe where Betty worked.
Okay. This path over here would be quicker than walking around over there. Anything to make... Oh, nuts. Anything to make this video quicker, because we all know this is going to last forever. There was something.
Could it be the same buildings as on the victim's photo?
Oh,
This is
alright.
definitely where the photo I found in the hut was taken.
Interesting. See, I would have walked right past that if it hadn't just skimmed right over it.
I'll be with you in a minute, gentlemen.
This is a well-laid table. Nothing is out of place, and above all, no creases. Something tells me that she's the owner of the ginger cat.
Behind the counter. Strict appearance.
This woman must be the owner of the ginger cat. It looks like
Ah.
something is bothering her.
Ginger. Okay.
How can I help you?
A hot chocolate and a tea for my friend, please.
I'll bring it straight away.
What a pity. I don't have any change to make it work.
Oh well. I guess we'll just look at the stuff behind the counter. Or, you know, look at it from the front.
I need to know the time range during which Betty was working on her own. This page won't help me. Where is Betty?
She worked from 11 to 7:30. Alright.
These are the different waiting staff's bills. Which ones were written by Betty?
And 7:30. So there was 11.
This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one.
There's another one right here. That's
Betty
before
wasn't serving on
7:30.
her own at these two times. Let's keep searching.
6:30.
This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one. Most probably a family. No, something's not right. Betty was alone at just one of these two times.
Okay, so we'll go back and see at what time she was completely alone. Okay, so this is the next day. She was alone from 5 to 7:30. So anything around 6. This is definitely hers.
Most probably a family. This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one.
Here's another one.
Most probably a single man. A whiskey lover. Maybe the murderer? Betty served a family and a man on his own. A whiskey drinker. Maybe the murderer. This information will help me to progress.
What? Gentlemen, what are you doing?
We are searching for clues, mademoiselle. My name is Hercule Poirot. I am a detective, and this is Captain Hastings. Does Betty Barnard work here?
That is correct. She should have been here a while ago. Punctuality is the first rule of politeness.
I fear that Miss Barnard will not be coming today. She has just been found, dead, on the beach a few hundred meters from the cafe.
How awful. Poor young thing.
So she didn't even know.
What happened?
She appears to have been murdered.
This is most distressing. How this will affect my business, I shudder to think.
Okay, so she was more worried about her business than the well-being of others. Ask what she knows about Betty.
What can you
We
tell
need
us
as much
about Miss
information as
Barnard?
possible.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. Miss Barnard was my employee. Her private life was none of my business.
You did know at least that she had a young man.
Indeed.
Ask if her gentleman friend might have attacked her. Ask if the man in the photo is her gentleman friend. Yeah.
This photo was found. Is this him?
Yes, that's him all right. But I haven't seen him for some time.
Ask if their relationship was going well. Say that young people no longer have morals. And we'll ask about the
Do you think
relationship.
there may have been some problems between them?
I'm not on those sort of terms with my staff. Now, please excuse me, I have work to do.
The customer who ordered the whiskey might provide us more information. He may have been the last one to see Betty alive.
It is an interesting idea, Hastings. Maybe he is a regular guest. What do you think, mademoiselle?
I don't think so. Our regular guests tend to order tea and cakes. At this time of the year, there are a lot of tourists about you never see again.
That's what I thought. Time to visit Betty's home.
Alright. Oh well, I guess we'll just leave and head out for the next one. Just in case, I'll be on the lookout for anything like that as well. Well, I'm thinking that's all that there was for that. Oh, but here's her humble abode. We'll just go around here because I guess he can't open doors himself.
How do you do, mademoiselle? My name is Hercule Poirot.
I know you. You're that detective we hear all about.
I do not know if that is a compliment, but I will take it as one for now. You are Betty's sister, I believe?
Yes. My name is Megan.
Can we come in?
Please do. My parents are at the police station. I doubt they'll be up to speaking to you later.
Do not worry, we will not bother them.
Did you know your sister's plans for yesterday evening?
No. I arrived by train this morning. My parents called me in a panic when they discovered that Betty had disappeared. She went out last night, but she didn't tell them where she was going.
What was your last conversation about?
Her new dress. She wanted a pair of black stockings to go with it. Mother brought her a pair.
Okay,
Very
so
it happened. She was crying. And to
this
think that
Betty
was
also had a
really
pair of
warm.
stockings as well as
Oh, Mummy.
Mrs. Asher had. Maybe they're somehow connected. And before we go upstairs, we'll explore everything that's here.
This gramophone is magnificent. It is a one-off, without a doubt. Family photos and files.
Okay, I'm seeing that that's a mirror, so we don't want to waste any more time. Anything over here? No, we'll just... Oh, there's a piano too. Before we go anywhere, make sure that we check everything.
The Barnard appear to make music a priority in their budget.
A piano. A violin.
They're
One
almost
furniture.
modest, but the Barnards are definitely music lovers.
Interesting. Don't know if that will
What is
help
she
with
feeling
anything.
at the moment?
Hard stare at the photo in her hand, which I can't seem to focus in on. Maybe I'm just not looking at the right spot. There we go.
Mr. Poirot, I don't like being stared at. If you have something to say, would you please say it to me?
I'm sorry. I'm just looking over everything because this thing is... Where am I supposed to look?
Betty's older sister is not just sad, she's angry.
She's very TO'd. TO'd. Ask if Betty had a fiance. Ask if Betty used to go out a lot. Fiance.
Your sister had a fiancé, I believe?
Yes, he's called Donald Fraser. A very nice man.
Ask if Betty saw other men. Ask where Betty's fiance is. Ask if Betty's fiance had a quick temper. Well, ask where he is.
Do you know where we might find him?
He works at the estate agent's, Corton Brunskill. Oh, excuse me, I have to answer that.
But of course.
Betty's room is opposite the stairs on the first floor. Feel free to take a look if you think it might be useful.
This young woman is far too clever not to have anything else for us.
Do you think she's hiding something?
That is what I'm trying to find out.
Surely you don't think she did it?
I did not say anything of the sort. But young women always ruin your judgment, Hastings. Who knows, maybe Megan was jealous of her attractive young sister.
I see. She may have had her sights on the inheritance. Or maybe she was in love with Donald Fraser.
We have to study all scenarios, even the most unlikely. But I doubt that Mr. and Mrs. Barnard are rich enough to justify murder. While I try and get Miss Barnard to talk, I would like you to try and find Donald Fraser. It should be easy to find the estate agents where he works. Bring him to the Ginger Cat. I would like to talk with him before the Chief Inspector finds him.
Okay, so we'll just head out to the bedroom now. Another mirror, we'll skip that. Looks like another music thing.
It looks like Betty was also a music lover, the same as her family. Without a doubt, Betty used to sing.
Oh, on top of the bed.
Looking at all the clothes she took out, Betty must have had a problem deciding what to wear. Maybe she had a date?
Oh, there's more stuff here.
It looks like Betty has a very busy life.
Menu for staff.
Betty liked luxury and going out. And being as pretty as she was, she probably did not have any problem getting herself invited.
Okay. Other stuff over here.
This small key should be useful to me.
Oh, okay. There's a small key in there. Oh, wait.
I've finished with this subject.
Oh. Ah. My fault. I thought we could look at that one last time.
Medicine to prevent voice loss. Did Betty have problems with her voice?
Okay, again, that's another thing that we saw in both cases. There was medicine for someone's throat. Okay, so I think we'll check this out
A
first.
record sleeve with a handwritten title. Betty must have recorded the demo. I'd be interested to hear it.
Cool.
Something on this clock bothers me.
And that opens up the second door.
This could be useful.
Okay, so we pulled out both. I was just thinking we could pull out one.
Betty, I enjoyed a wonderful evening in your company, and I hope that we will see each other again very soon. D. My dearest Betty, I know that your art is already spoken for, but you are the most beautiful dancer I have ever had the pleasure of meeting, and I am impatient to see you again. Adrian.
You know what? We did see
record
the...
sleeve with a handwritten title. Betty must have recorded the deep.
Okay, so I thought we could take that downstairs and listen to it. Maybe it had some information about what she was going through. But we'll come to that later. Or maybe we can do it just by clicking this.
Oh, Donald! We're in the middle of recording.
Sorry, Betty, but it's not wise. The doctor said you should rest your voice.
You're such a killjoy sometimes.
Betty was such a good singer.
It's true. Did she have any problem with her throat?
Yes, she had to be careful with her voice. Of course, she didn't follow the doctor's advice. If Don didn't insist, she... Well, it's too late for all that now.
Sad but true. We'll look at her one last time.
It looks like this woman is single, but she has feelings for someone.
She has no ring, obviously. Staring at the picture again.
She is looking so intensely at this photo. But is it really a sister that she's studying in this manner? They made the perfect couple, am I correct?
Yes, in a way. She was pretty and he...
Well?
He's a bright man, with a promising career ahead of him. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous. Oh, a true gentleman.
I hear a note of envy in your voice.
You must have heard wrong.
Donald appeared to be very much in love with your sister.
Yes, he was mad about her.
Mad, you say? Being madly in love can often be destructive, and Mr. Fraser was known for being jealous, I believe.
No more than average. Men are always slightly possessive, especially when they are with a pretty woman.
I am not your enemy, Mademoiselle Bernard.
And you are not my friend either, Mr. Poirot, sir.
Yes, but your lies are not helping Mr. Fraser, or you, for that matter.
Inform her that the case is complex. Ask why she's protecting Betty's fiancé.
I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Protect him? I hope you're not suggesting...
That you are Fraser's accomplice? There is nothing to suggest that, at least not yet. It would appear that your sister's murder is the second in a series that we have to stop as quickly as possible. The first was in Andover, and the same as your sister, the murderer sent me a letter informing me that a crime would be committed in that town. Now can I count on your honesty?
Yes, you have my confidence, Mr. Poirot. Don is a quiet and sensitive young man. Slightly reserved, too. And as is often the case with reserved people, when he flew into a temper, he completely lost control. He could be so violent. Betty was frightened.
And when was this?
The first time was about a year ago. But they rowed more recently. Donald found out that Betty had lied to him. She said she was going out with a girlfriend, but she went out for dinner with a married man. It was an awful scene. She told him that until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying one day... One day
One day what?
Well?
he'd commit murder.
Ask if Donald really could have killed Betty. Ask if she fears that Donald is a suspect. You know, I'm gonna ask her if she fears that.
So you were afraid that he would become our main suspect. I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Exactly. Had you not told me about the case, I would never have dared to tell you about this little matter. Don loved Betty with all his heart. I can't imagine for one instant that he would hurt her.
Very good, Mademoiselle Bernard. Thank you for your help.
So she's supplied us with a decent bit amount of information.
Fraser is at the Ginger Cat. The police haven't spoken to him, but they want to.
Très bien, Hastings. Let's see him now. Au revoir, mademoiselle. My deepest condolences to your parents.
Of course, Mr. Poirot. And don't be too hard on Don. He's more fragile than he looks.
If you say so. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
What had Betty planned to do with her evening? Betty lied to Donald about what she was planning to do the day before. The victim has marks on the neck. An unaccompanied guest came to the Ginger Cat in order... Were a lot of visitors... Nope. Betty was seeing other men as well as Donald. Betty used to go out a great deal. We'll use that. Betty had probably planned to meet someone that... We'll use this one, maybe, just possibly. Okay, Betty used to go out a great deal. There we go. Betty lied to Donald because she had a date with another man. Did Betty know her assailant? Possibly this one, and an unaccompanied guest came to the Ginger Cat and ordered... Not quite sure how we
Let us
got
now
that fact
try
from
and
that.
get our brain cells to work.
What is Megan Barnard's behavior hiding? Megan really liked him, but he was seeing other men as well as Donald. There, Megan has a soft spot for Donald. Did Megan Barnard have a motive for killing her sister? Megan was jealous of Betty. Question Donald Fraser.
You've seen Fraser, Hastings. What is your feeling?
He's a big chap. Fragile isn't exactly the word that springs to mind. I talked to his landlady before seeing him. She went to bed at 11. Fraser wasn't home yet.
Bien. Megan Barnard said he is a reserved character but with a nasty temper. We will see if this is the case.
Let's pop in here and here he is.
How do you do, Mr. Fraser?
You Hercule Poirot. Mr. Hastings said you wanted to speak to me.
Yes. I know that it may not be the right time, but I would like to ask you a few questions.
We'll look him over before.
This man looks suspicious.
White Horse Whiskey was the drink that was on the thing. Crumpled clothes.
Donald Fraser is in a terrible state, as if he hadn't slept all night. And he's drinking White Horse.
Leave me alone.
We won't be leaving.
Tell me that it's a mistake. That Betty isn't dead.
Sadly, your lady friend has been murdered, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, Betty, if only you'd listened.
Ask if he saw Betty yesterday afternoon. Ask what would have happened if she'd listened to him. Say that Betty only ever did as she pleased. You know what, we'll just ask what he saw yesterday.
Did you visit Betty yesterday afternoon?
No, I haven't seen Betty for 2 days. I was at the office yesterday afternoon.
Can you prove that?
Of course. But why this question? Betty died yesterday evening, didn't she?
Ask if he likes White Horse Whiskey. Tell him that he's a suspect.
Yesterday, a guest came to the Ginger Cat alone and ordered a White Horse whiskey, and by the look of it, you also appear to be fond of this brand.
Yes, it's a good whiskey and not cheap. I only drink it on special occasions. Or tragic ones.
I understand. Do you know what Betty's plans were yesterday evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
Ask why he believed her. Specify that her sister was in London.
Yet, Megan only returned to Bexhill this morning, Mr. Fraser.
I didn't know.
Right. May I ask you what you were doing yesterday evening?
I spent the evening working.
Your colleagues can confirm this?
No, I often take work home with me.
Find out that he doesn't have an alibi. Accuse him of lying just like Betty. We don't want him to be mad at us for saying that he's lying, so we'll just stick with the alibi one.
Therefore, you have no alibi, Mr. Fraser.
That's right. But that doesn't make me a murderer, Mr. Poirot. I would like you to leave now, please.
Ouch.
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Yes, is all yours, Chief Inspector. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay, so there's one more question. Oh. Did Donald have a motive for Betty's murder? Donald was very much in love with Betty. Betty used to go out a great deal. The victim has marks. The two murders were premeditated and carried out by the same murderer. Donald does not have an alibi. Right now, I'm just trying to see how they would. Did Donald have a motive for Betty's murder? Possibly. Donald had a motive for killing Betty. Jealousy. Does Donald have an alibi? No, he does not, which we've read over multiple times. Does Donald have a motive for all the murders? Donald may have killed Betty, but he does not have a motive to kill Miss Asher. Now we have to head toward the crime scenes, I guess.
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely jealous.
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Japp to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree, without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars. Bon, I think we have enough elements. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
I can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene.
And because this is what happened in the last murder, I'm saying this will be
the killer and
near the
victim
closing.
are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5.
No, they were in number 6, so it'd be the next one.
Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6.
Here's where we go.
Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a code.
We'll advance a little bit further because we're still close to this area.
They keep walking. Then she removes her belt.
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise. The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
So quite literally, we saw somebody just get choked right in front of us. Yikes.
Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser. But by signing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very generous of him.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, mon cher Hastings.
I think this will be the point where we just get to leave. Goodbye, Bexhill, and hello again, London.
Right, back to London. There is nothing more for us to do here.
Japp has decided to reveal details to the press. The alphabet murder is now famous.
Well, aside from that happening, weird, I do have to say that's gonna be all for today. This video has gone off way too long, but I'm glad that you guys came out to see the second part of the Agatha Christie's ABC murders. So we've just witnessed the murder of Betty Barnard in Bexhill. Okay, so we already have the A and the B of the ABC murders, so there's going to be one last place that's going to be disclosed as a C area, as well as the victim having the last name and slightly the first name, possibly because it was only a nickname in this case, because her real name was Elizabeth. But we have yet to figure out any of this case. Actually, we keep getting more and more information, but we keep getting off track every single time. I can't seem to wrap my head around it. We're always missing just a little bit more information. But if you want to know more, I hope that you do, because, hello, you still don't know who did it. If you want to know what happens in the next one, hit the subscribe button as well as the bell to know when I've just posted out another video. Also, don't forget to hit the like button to let me know how I'm doing, and leave a comment for any videos that you want in the future. But until I see you in the next one, I'm signing off. Cheers. Oh. Oh, that was not good. Oh.